as people were checking in, that you were seeing people in like places like Texas and other states. And it's pretty wild and quite incredible. Never how we expected to be doing this. So I'm Robin, and I want to let you all know what this practice will be like so you can gather anything that you might need. I know that Elise mentioned this, but you probably want a blanket and a pillow. So it'll be like yoga nap eventually here. So I have a couple of blankets. You can use, of course, a yoga blanket, but you could use a blanket of any kind, like a throw that you'd put over the couch. And if you roll it up nice and long. So I'm going to stand up and show you what I mean. If you take a blanket and then you either fold it in 3 or 4 times or roll it in until it's like almost like a long rectangular blanket, and think of it as being like your spine. So eventually that will go down the back of your body, okay? And you can use any kind of a blanket for that, or you could even use a pillow for that. But I think it's going to be nice if you have 2 or 3 props that you can use, like blankets and pillows. Couch pillows work great too. And so you can gather those things, and even if it takes a few minutes, it's okay, because we'll be centering in breath. And after we center in breath, we're going to do some postures that are more restorative in the nature of them. And then once those postures are done, we're going to settle into the most comfortable position possible, like you were going to take a nap. But instead, you'll follow along with my voice and we'll practice Yoga Nidra, which is a yoga meditation, and the rest will just unfold. So that's our schedule from now until about noon. So while you're gathering things, and maybe you already did, just drop into the practice at any time. And those of you who are ready, we're going to take a hand position over the collarbone space. So this is a heart calming mudra. And Elise, if you're listening, like Jackie said to you, you can turn on music anytime now. You'll take your thumbs together and you'll spread your hands over your heart. And so the thumbs meet underneath the throat and the hands go across the collarbones. Feel your collarbones there. And then close your eyes anytime that you want to. You can keep your eyes open, and that's also okay. And then start to just follow the flow of your breath. And you'll feel the chest move up and down gently into your hands. And your hands move also up and down as the body moves with breath. And if you were with Jackie during her practice, she included the eagle posture. And this is the eagle mudra. You're just following the flow of your breath with nothing else that you need to do or change, just noticing how the body moves. And start to experience the feeling of your hands on your own collarbones. Do the hands feel warm or cold? And then also start to sense inward below the skin and what it feels like in the space where your heart and lungs live. And that could be a physical feeling, like what it feels like to breathe. But I also invite you to tune into any other sense or feeling that you have there. It might be an emotion. So your heart space is connected to your body and your brain, and your heart is always communicating with you at other levels in other places in the body. And in today's practice, not just right now, but throughout the practice, I invite you today to sense and feel what might be in the heart space today, like emotions, and to name that no matter what it is, because it's a really healthy practice for us to be able to name what we feel. And so you may or may not be ready to do that right now, but just have that in your awareness throughout the practice as I attune you back several times today to any emotional landscape in the heart. And now to increase your breath, if that feels okay to you and you have the capacity today to breathe into a count of 4, and then to breathe out to a count of 4. And we'll do a few cycles like that. Inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1, feeling the top of the breath. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, breathing in 4, 3, 2, 1, feeling the top of the breath. And exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. And this time feeling the bottom of the breath. And one more time like that. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Top of the breath. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bottom of the breath. And now breathe naturally and softly and simply restack the hands so you slide the bottom hand out and it becomes the top hand in a similar position. And now massage along the collarbones with your fingers so you're just finding the bones that are under the hand. Making that connection with our heart center space, Anahata. As you may have heard Jackie Bonwell mention in the chakra practice, this is the sensory and subtle space of the heart. And it's a place where we often feel. So we'll say that our heart sings or our heart is broken, for example. And today with this mudra of the eagle, perhaps like the eagle with really sharp senses and sight, who knows everything that's going on down below in the landscape, your heartscape becomes the landscape and you become the eagle, in tune with and aware of everything in the space of the heart today. So sense yourself aware and tuned in on every level of your being to the landscape of the heart today. And as we move through the practice, know that your heart is also connected to the broader collective experience of every human being right now. And that there are a lot of feelings and emotions present right now in the collective, in our community and beyond. And so perhaps in that way, we tune into the sense of compassion that is always there. And sea change yoga is so much part of and built on compassion. Compassion for each other, no matter what circumstance we might be in. Take another breath. Breathe all the way in. And breathe all the way out. And then release the mudra of the eagle. And we'll come into our first posture today. And you'll come down onto your stomach. If you have a mat, you could use it. You could lay on anything, really. It could be a blanket. It could even be your bed. And you'll come down onto your stomach into a Sphinx. And in Sphinx posture, we're on our forearms. You come down to the forearms, and you'll extend your body along the back. And there's a back bend present there. And that's the back bend. Walk the arms further forward and move down low. Okay? And then we'll breathe here in Sphinx. And I invite you to close your eyes if you want to, which you can do at any time in this practice. So open and close your eyes freely as you feel you want to. Sometimes opening your eyes to take in your environment, and then going back to closing your eyes to simply feel. And you've been listening to the Gate Gate mantra, and that version is sung by Alicia Matthewson, who plays at Maine Yoga Fest and will also play at other yoga festivals. She's based on Cape Cod. And I've been listening to her this week do live streams, usually in the morning. So if you want to look her up, that's Alicia Matthewson. And Gate Gate is a heart-calming mantra. And Sphinx is a heart-opening posture. So again, sense your breath moving around your heart space here. As the heart gently opens forward to the space between your arms, your neck is long and your body is open to breath. And you'll notice that we hold posture a bit longer in this practice. And so anytime that you need to adjust, or if any posture isn't right for you today, you do what's good for you. Because even listening along can help create a shift inside. Feel the body moving gently with breath. And you'll be in this posture just for a handful more of breaths. Feel your body breathe 3 more cycles of inhale, exhale. However gently or deeply you're breathing, you'll adjust that number. So 1 more in and out breath. And then stack your arms or hands and let your head come down on them. And as you're here with your head down, just notice any way that your sense of energy, your body energy, is present with you right now. Maybe where it seems to live or come from. As we go into the practice, you may want to extend to yourself compassion and love, filling yourself up, using yourself as a source for that filling, as well as the practice itself. As you fill with love and compassion, then you are more able to extend that to others. So if you're taking care of others right now, either checking in by phone or taking care of the others that live in your home, know that by replenishing yourself like this, you're more able to extend that out to other humans, either physically or from a distance, those you know and even those you don't know. For example, today, by participating in this Yogathon, you are extending energy out to others who are in situations that have been extremely challenging. The people served by the teachers of Sea Change Yoga. Now, as you're ready, after another breath or so, you'll push yourself up to sit. And when you sit, you'll extend your legs out in front of you. Okay? And with your legs out in front of you, we'll take just a short posture that balances the body after being in a back bend like the one you were in. And so maybe using your pillow, I'm gonna grab mine. I have a bed pillow to kind of level the playing field with everybody out there who might not have yoga props. You can put that pillow on your lap and you can hug it right in toward your stomach and your hip crease. And then any amount, bend your knees and fold a little bit forward over your legs. So let the body hinge forward over your pillow. Legs could be long or knees could be bending a lot. And you're stretching out your lower back that you just provided a little bit of compression to in space. So any amount of hinging forward. Hands could be on the floor outside your legs, or you might be leaning your arms into the pillow. Breathe into your low back. Let your low back receive the breath. Both of these postures relate to the spine, and actually all of the postures that we'll do in this sequence do relate to your spine. So we'll give the spine a few different experiences in the process of creating some change and awareness to yourself. This is a self-care practice. And we'll take just a few more breaths here. So let those breaths be as long as you want. If you ever feel like your mind gets very restless, try lengthening your exhale breaths so that your breaths out are longer than your breaths in. So that could be now or at any time. And after this breath, you'll start to sit back up so that the spine gets long and the head lifts. Okay? So the next posture we'll do is a twist. And you may be able to fold forward in your twist over your pillow, and I'm going to move to my mat for a moment to show you what I mean. So when you do this posture, you'll sit so that one leg is in front of the other. Sitting toward a shin. So my shin is toward you, and my knee is right in front of my hip. Okay? And then you may take your pillow, or you could use a blanket, and put it down in front of you. And put it on the thigh side instead of the shin side. So I'm putting it aside of me. Turn toward your thigh and hinge forward over that blanket. Now you might stay uplifted like this, or you might come down onto your forearms or all the way down onto your head. Moving into a deer shape. Kind of like a deer reclining, like a deer resting in the woods. Feel your body resting in this shape. And remember that if it feels like more than your body needs right now, you can always adjust it. You can always sit up for a more gentle version. And your torso twists around your spine, and there's also this sort of twisting quality to your legs. In one leg, you're on the outer knee, and one leg, you're on the inner knee. So two different movements of the hip joint here. And twists connect us to our center. So along with compassion for yourself, I also invite you today to feel your sense of empowerment. your ability to create shifts in yourself and a sense of empowerment that comes from the area of the solar plexus near your breathing muscle, the diaphragm. Where feelings of empowerment live and are stimulated in the subtle part of our body. And you'll take about 5 or 6 more breaths now here. And then you'll start to push yourself up so you can then switch yourself to the other side and go really gently and nice and slow. So when you come up, your knees might turn up first. And you'll move that pillow or blanket to the other side of your space, the complete opposite side. Switching your legs also so that one shin comes forward in front of you at first. But then you turn slightly away from that shin, a quarter turn, and you face the side the thigh is on. And then you can fold from there, bringing your hands to that space, maybe around your pillow or blanket, and then maybe folding lower to your forearms, or even putting your head all the way down. And you may notice this feels really quite different in the lower parts of the body because one side of the body tends to receive this posture more readily. And it might have been the first side that you did because we tend to go toward ease. And feel your breath moving around your solar plexus center as you twist. This is the subtle body chakra, energy center, that is below the heart center. And so as we pair 2 postures, one accenting the heart and the second, this one, accenting the solar plexus, we bring together our sense of compassion in the heart and empowerment in the solar plexus center. Making us aware, perhaps more, of the energy exchange and the energy sense. And from that energy sense, we extend love and self-worth to ourselves. And in doing that, we're more prepared to also extend that out to other humans, known or maybe the ones that you have not met. And that really, I feel, captures the essence of what sea change yoga is about. Empowering and acting from our most compassionate selves. Take 6 more breaths here. Remember, longer exhales can be more calming. For the central nervous system, use long exhales anytime in your practice, anytime in your life. It's normal right now to perhaps not sleep through the night, or to wake up and feel some anxiousness or discomfort and a sense of things being different. Long exhales are your friend. Your breath is always there to support you. And it really does work. When you're ready, you can go ahead and push yourself up out of the deer posture, and I'll join you in this. When you do that, take both legs out in front of you. Bend your knees. I think you can see me as well as I want, and I'm going to move. Bend your knees, take your feet hip-width distance apart or wider, and rock your knees from side to side in a windshield wiper type of movement, also known as the crow crawl, which brings me back to birds. And then next time you come up through center for a moment, just find your seat, and it can be any seat. And in that seat, again, take the Eagle Mudra and cross your hands over your collarbones. And go inward, and if you want, maybe close your eyes or look downward toward the wrists. And be the eagle surveying the landscape of the heartscape here. David Kessler, who is a really renowned author, and probably the most world-renowned author on grieving, says that being able to name the emotion empowers you to manage that emotion, and it encourages us to feel now all of the feelings. And so whether this is a feeling that you would have chosen or not, name the feeling, sense the landscape, bring your awareness into the space of heart today. And it may come now or it may come later that the emotion is able to be named. So welcome this practice in any way that it happens for you today, knowing that you can't do this wrong. It's not possible. Experiencing it just as you're meant to on this day. And as you breathe again, sense and feel the chest and hands together, heart and hands extensions of each other. And then go ahead and let go and let your eyes open. And the next posture we'll set up is supported fish. And after this, we'll be staying on our backs or down on the ground, whichever you choose. You don't have to be on your back. But for this posture, you would be somewhat on your back. You can use that blanket that you folded or rolled up. And when you lay down on it, it's gonna be along your spine. So it'll start right around where the tailbone is, and it'll come up under the back of your head. And you can go ahead and sit down on the ground and arrange the blanket so it's at the tailbone and lay down. And you might find that you also then want to fold the top of the blanket so it comes under your neck and head and gives it a little bit more height. So I'm doing this upright, and you would lay down on it. I want you to be able to see really well how the blanket would be when you were laying down. So go ahead and find that opening of the chest by then letting the arms come down to either side of your roll that you created. So the arms are on the ground, and maybe the palms turn up to keep the collarbone space open. But if it feels better to put your hands on your ribs, you could definitely do that. And feel the body breathe here. Your legs might be bending, or your legs could be straight. It just depends how your back feels and how the knees feel. This is a posture of opening the heart. Body moves gently with breath the whole time, no matter how you're choosing to breathe. Breathe gently or breathe more strongly as you see fit. What supports you in the way that you breathe today? And if you did notice a feeling that you could name when you were the eagle over your heartscape, allow yourself to actually feel it, because that is the way that feelings can process and move through. And it doesn't matter if it's happiness or sadness or fear or love, just whatever you feel in the heart, recognize it, acknowledge it for what it is, without any doubt or without any fight. Because your heart offers your body and your brain this feeling now with purpose. And so even as you allow for the emotion, you may allow the emotion itself to find more meaning in your experience. And to connect to the idea that your feeling, your emotion, your experience is also experienced by others. In fact, this might be one of the times in our lives, maybe the most significant time in your life, or one of the most, where you are truly connected to collective energy all over this planet, experiencing many of the same feelings, emotions, and even thoughts as other people who live very different lives or live in very different places. So your heart is yours and your experience is personal, and yet it is also connected to the hearts and experiences of many. Let the front body rest toward the back body, even as the back body is gently uplifted with that blanket or pillow toward the front body. Feeling a sense of integration of the strength of your back and the softness of your heart. These opposites that are always with you, your softness and your strength, your inhale and your exhale. Your ability to be right here in the present, even when things from the past or thoughts about the future come up. These opposite experiences that can be present with you anytime, some of them all of the time. And take this minute completely for yourself, where the only sound is perhaps the sound of your breath. And notice again your breath moving in and out. And as we get ready to move out of this posture, bend your knees if they're not already bending, so your feet are flat on the ground, and roll off that blanket that you were laying on. And then you'll be moving onto your back or side or even stomach into your most comfortable resting posture. Get really comfortable. Support your head with your pillow that you brought, if that's possible. And if you want, you could take the rolled blanket that you had and you could put it underneath the backs of your legs at the knee level or a little bit higher. Or you could take that blanket and you could fold it and you could place it between the two legs if you want to lay on your side, so that your blanket could tuck in between upper legs, creating a little bit of extra space in the low back and hips. Make sure that the way that you're settling feels comfortable in a way that you can stay here for a little while and listen to your Yoga Nidra, which is a guided meditation and means yoga nap or yogic sleep. And so you might set up as if you were about to take a nap, but I also encourage you to stay awake. Now, if you sleep, that might be because you didn't get enough rest last night or something like that. Welcome the nap if that's what comes. It's totally fine. And in fact, even on some level, you might be aware of what I'm saying the whole time, even if you feel like you're sleeping. Another possibility is that you stay really completely alert and you hear every word I say. But many of you might find that it's somewhere in between, where you're not asleep and you're aware of my voice some of the time, and then I seem to fade away or dissolve. When that happens, you can just drop back in anytime. If you start to become more wakeful, you can begin to follow along again with me. And before we go deeper into that kind of a yogic sleep, I invite you to set your most heartfelt intention today. The intention of Yoga Nidra is backed by emotion. So I often think of it as more than a goal. It's vaster than that. You can set any intention that you want, but if you'd like to practice doing this in a Yoga Nidra type of way, consider your most heartfelt wish. And then simplify that as much as seems possible today into a phrase or even just one word. So if your first thought was, my intention is safety for myself and my family, you might then think safety or health or even peace, well-being, love. There's many others, and you can individualize your intention as much as you like. If your intention was to feel more balanced in your body and mind, maybe your intention is broad like balance, and then see if you feel that right in your heart. Whatever your intention might be, notice where the emotion is in the body that supports that and backs it up, where it comes from. Put it in the most present tense language, even if you feel like it's something ahead. Yoga Nidra is a practice. And so for the sake of practice, bring it into the present and the positive, as if you were experiencing it right now, and maybe you are. And then affirm it for yourself by repeating it 2 more times. I also want you to know that if intention doesn't come easily, you can just follow along with the practice. And remember why you've joined us at the Sea Change Yogathon today, and use that as your intention. Easy. You can't do this practice wrong, everyone. Tell yourself that too. I cannot do this practice wrong. And welcome however it unfolds, this Yoga Nidra journey today. So knowing that you stay safe and secure in the place that you've chosen to practice today, I invite you to remember, as part of your practice, a place we'll call the inner sanctuary, a place in your inner realm. It may be a memory of an actual place where you feel really safe and secure, really at peace, happy, free to be exactly who you are, like a judgment-free space. And it could be from the past, or it could even be the place where you are right now. Maybe a place in nature. Wherever it is, invite the whole sensory experience of seeing what it's like there, the colors, the features, the natural elements or the objects. And as you follow along with my voice, also recall any sounds that are present when you're there. It could be others' voices, or music, animals, or natural sounds. And then also imagine what the air is like. Is it warm or cool for this practice today? Would it be breezy or still? And whatever that air quality is like, is there a smell or a taste to the air when you're there? You know how sometimes the air just smells like rain, or it smells like salt, and there's almost like a taste feeling that goes with it. See if any of that would be present in your inner sanctuary place. As if you were actually breathing that air right now. And let your mind even go to any textures you would feel, like would you be laying down or sitting or standing or dancing? What's the surface like? Soft earth, grass, sand, wood, floor, carpet, your cozy bed, whatever it is. What are the textures like? Soft or bristly? You could practice the rest of your Yoga Nidra just exploring this inner sanctuary if you want to. Otherwise, I'll invite you to experience some other things on this journey. And just know that you can come back to the feelings of your breath or that inner sanctuary, envisioning and sensing at any time. Okay, so if anything becomes uncomfortable or you fall asleep and you're not sure how to pick back up, just notice the feeling of your breath. Practicing that now, noticing the rise of the breath, and then how it dissolves. A couple of more times breathing. And maybe you're breathing that inner sanctuary air, or sensing the air where you are. It's almost like you have a dual reality right now where you're right here safe and secure and grounded exactly where you are, and still able to explore this memory or this felt sense of that inner world. And now I'll invite you on a journey through your own body, a rotation of your consciousness. And there's no need to change anything unless you find tension that you can let go of when we do that. Otherwise, just noticing in your inner awareness and moving on. And we'll start with the inside of your mouth. Notice the roof of your mouth. The whole palate from the back of your top teeth all the way to where The palate joins the soft tissue at the throat. It might make you feel like swallowing. Notice your tongue. If the tongue is holding tension, let the tension go by softening any touch of the tongue to the roof of the mouth, if it's there. Even softening the opening to the throat, where the root of the tongue is. Maybe the tongue feels like it's floating. Notice your lower jaw, lower gums, lower teeth, and the upper gums and teeth, and that there's some space and no clench. Notice the inner right cheek and the inside of the left cheek. Feel your breath washing through your inner nostrils and the back of your throat. The place where the back of the nostrils, the throat, and the mouth meet. And then become aware of a space just above that, behind the nostrils, which would be the center between your two ears. Notice the left ear, the outer ear, and then the spiral of the inner ear toward that place between the ears. And notice your right outer ear, and then your right inner ear and the way it spirals into that same meeting point. Now become aware of the whole right side of your head and face, the space around the ear, the side of the head, the right side of your face, your right eyebrow and your right eye, your right cheekbone and your right cheek, the right side of your chin. And then become aware of the place where the right side of the head meets the left. And notice the whole left side of your head, left side of your face, left eyebrow and left eye, left cheekbone and left cheek, the left side of your chin, your lower lip, left and right, your upper lip, right and left, the space between your mouth and your nose where that little cavernous divot is leading to your nose. Notice the outer nose, travel up the bridge of your nose. Become aware of your third eye center. Bring your awareness across the top of your head, across the skull. Feel the scalp resting over the bone. And sense the base of your skull at the back of your head. And for a moment, become aware of the front of the head and the back of the head at once. Feeling your whole head and face. Now bring your awareness underneath your left ear and sense the left side of your neck and the way it slopes into your left shoulder. Sense the left shoulder, the left arm, the left elbow, left forearm, wrist, left hand, the palm of the left hand, the back of the left hand, your left thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky, your whole left shoulder, arm, and hand. Bring your awareness to the very back of your neck. Maybe you feel some support there. And then sense the right side of the neck and the way it slopes into your right shoulder, right arm, right elbow, forearm, wrist, right palm, back of the right hand, your right thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and right pinky. Sense the whole right shoulder, arm, and hand at once. Bring your awareness now to the front of the neck and the soft space at the front throat, just above the collarbones where you once rested your hands. Sense the whole left collarbone from shoulder to the center of the upper chest, and the whole right collarbone from right shoulder to the center where it meets the left. Sense the bony and the soft parts of the chest. Sense the lower ribs and the muscle that you use or feel when you breathe your diaphragm. The movement of your breath in your body. The soft abdomen. The spine running down the middle of your back. The left shoulder blade. The left back ribs. The left waist. The right shoulder blade. The right back ribs. The right waist. Your whole torso. The back of the body supporting the front of the body. The front of the body resting into the back. Your heart. Your healthy lungs. All of the organs, part of the systems at work in your body on your behalf right now. Your right hip, right seat, right thigh, right knee, right shin and calf, your right ankle, your right foot, the sole of your right foot, your right heel, the top of your right foot, your right big toe, second toe, right middle toe, fourth toe, right pinky toe. Bring your awareness to your left hip, left thigh, left knee, left shin and calf, left ankle, left foot, sole of your left foot, top of your left foot, left big toe, second toe, middle toe, fourth toe, left pinky toe, both feet, both legs, both hands, both arms, your whole torso, your whole neck and neck, your whole body breathing. Sense yourself centered right here in the present moment, able to feel and sense everything. Also aware that these feelings, sensations, and experiences come and go, just like the breath moves in and then also moves out. Your centered self, aware and experiencing all of this at once. I invite you to explore some opposites as part of the Yoga Nidra practice. We recognize and sometimes reconcile opposites in this practice, recognizing that you are able to, at some times, experience anything, and that it also dissolves again. Knowing that feelings and experiences and sensations rise and again decline. And to remember now, if you'd like to join me in this practice, what it's like when you're very cold, or a time that you were very cold, what cold is like when you experience it. You might even sense a part of the body that feels cold or cool right now. And then bring your awareness to a time when you were very cold, perhaps like opening the front door on one of the coldest winter days or nights. Or being outside in the cold, not really being dressed for the weather. Even a sense maybe of what it's like to shiver with cold. Recalling all you know about coldness. Remember, you can't do this practice wrong, and you can always just follow your breath or spend time in your favorite place, that inner sanctuary, if you want instead. Now let all thoughts and feelings of cold move away from you. You stay centered here, and we move to the opposite. What is it like to be warm? You might even notice that you are warm in some way or some part of your body right now. And what is warmth like? And what is it like to eat very warm, like perspiring? Or very hot, like spending time near a heater or a fire? What is it like to be warm or hot, the opposite of cold? Your mind might conjure up some memory or just some thoughts or images of heat. And now recognize that heat and cold are things that you can sense, yet they are not like permanent or lasting at any given time. They come and go. So sense yourself as someone who experiences both at different times, and sometimes maybe both at once in different places. And we'll move on to a couple of different sets of opposites now. What is it like when you're very sleepy? When you feel like you can't keep your eyes open, or you've done a lot on this day, or your body just really needs rest? What is sleepiness like? Maybe you remember a recent time where you felt so sleepy. Is there a place where you sense that in your body? There's no wrong way to do this or answer. Just notice where sensations of sleep may come when they do. And now, what is it like to feel the opposite of that? What does it feel to be very wakeful and full of energy and vitality? To feel like you have energy to spare and to burn. Notice any images, thoughts, or memories about feeling very energetic. And then allowing yourself to perhaps sense a bit more deeply or differently, where do those feelings live in the body when they're present? These senses of energy, maybe like enthusiasm or physical energy. Just notice if that's there. And know that these feelings come and go, and you stay centered. Your true self can experience all of this. And yet these feelings of energy or sleepiness come and go, perhaps on a daily basis or even more frequently than that, more than once in a day. And is it possible to feel sleepy and energetic at once in any way? Just be curious and see what that thought brings. Can you be sleepy in the body and energetic in the mind? Or have a sleepy brain and an energy-filled body, for examples. There might be other examples too. And now we'll let all thoughts about sleepiness and energy to go, and feel yourself centered here, just breathing, practicing Yoga Nidra with me, following my voice. And I invite you to bring to mind any challenging or uncomfortable feeling that you know of. And you don't have to be experiencing this right now. It doesn't have to be your emotional state. Just name a comfortable or challenging feeling that you've had or that you've witnessed someone else having. And just notice what thoughts or awarenesses that brings. And in our current time, we've been experiencing a lot of things that could be challenging, either mentally or emotionally, maybe physically. What is it like to feel uncomfortable like that or challenged in that way? We're just exploring it, just witnessing what it's like, because it may not be what you're feeling right now. Even if it is, can you just step back from it a little bit and witness that? In doing it, you may even send compassion to that feeling or yourself when you experience that challenge or discomfort. Can you extend compassion like you would extend it to a friend? And now let's move away from the challenging or uncomfortable feeling and just let it sit aside. We may go back to it again, but let's go to its opposite. What is it like when you feel a very welcome feeling, a desirable feeling, an opposite feeling, something joy? What is that emotion or feeling today? See if you can just name one, even if it's not how you feel now or recently. And then what is that like when it's true? This might bring memories or thoughts. And what is it like to have enjoyable or pleasurable feelings like that yourself, or even to be in the presence of someone else experiencing that? Recalling or conjuring or experiencing some form of joy or ease. And now, just as a practice, even though it might be a feeling that you like, step back from it a bit, like you're witnessing yourself or someone else experiencing this welcome kind of feeling. And notice if that resonates somewhere in your body. Do you feel it somewhere in a subtle way? Is there a sense of this in any part that feels physical and yet subtle at once? And so if happiness is a welcome and enjoyable feeling, For example, where does happiness live or speak to you from in the body? And if loss or grief is an uncomfortable or challenging feeling, just for one example, where does that speak in the body? Is it different, or is it living in the same space, the way that you notice it today? And then just for a few cycles of back and forth, recognize, know, and witness what it's like to feel challenged or uncomfortable, and what it's like to feel enjoyment and ease, going back and forth between the two, noticing if one arises as the other dissolves, or if they blend together and have some overlap, or if both challenging and comfortable feelings can be present even simultaneously. One more time, allow yourself to move back and forth between these possible experiences of emotion. And now, in your own way, allow both to dissolve, let them go. You could think of them as like balloons flying off, or you could ground the energy down into the ground where your hands or your feet are resting. A sense of letting go and coming into a very present moment, right here, practicing Yoga Nidra. And at this point in your practice, I invite you to sense your whole body breathing here. And to sense yourself as a radiant being, capable of many different experiences. And to sense the heartscape, whatever it is today. And to allow compassion to be there for both yourself and for others, as broadly as you'd like to extend that out. And to sense your solar plexus energy center underneath the low ribs, like a sunshine. You might even put your hand there and the other on your heart. This place of empowerment inside you, this place with life force energy, and to extend a sense of empowerment to yourself in this and through this center, so that you can then also extend out senses, feelings, or prayers of empowerment to others, whoever they might be. Your kids, your friends, your family, other humans that you have not met. Living in empowerment and compassion, in direct connection and in indirect connection to each other and to yourself. Sense yourself as energy. You are energy, and your internal fire always burns. And you are loved, and you are love. And you can return to that quality, that feeling at any time. Allow any of those feelings of compassion, love, empowerment, life force to radiate through and around your entire body now, moving from the heart and solar plexus out into the legs and the feet and the arms and the hands, and your throat and your voice and your eyes and your head, and feel yourself radiant and bright. Let it light up all the cells in your body with a sense of vitality and health, wellness, physical and mental, emotional well-being. A part of this practice has been to empower your intention. Bring your intention that you may have set earlier back to your awareness now, and feel a felt sense of it already complete, growing within you, extending to you. Your intention. Reaffirm it for yourself a few more times. And if now is a better time for you to set intention, then set that intention now in the most present and positive way. Inner peace, love for yourself and others, well-being, any intention of your own. And speak it to yourself one more time, feeling a sense of its existence in the present. And let the sound and the song start to wash over you. And one more time, I invite you to take the Eagle Mudra over your collarbones with your hands. Feel your body breathing. Notice the quality of your air. Feel yourself grounded. Feel yourself grateful for any of the things or beings that might surround you right now, or those that you connect to from a distance for now, for the good of all. And notice the air on your skin and the feeling inside. And when you're ready, let your eyes flutter open. Give yourself a full body stretch. And then when you feel ready, you can bend your knees and hug them in toward your ribs. So you're hugging knees toward the front body. Or you could just bend your knees. You might roll side to side on your back as you're doing that, or take any other movements that feel like awakening and soothing. And we're just approaching noon now. So as you're ready, you can come to your own seat, or you can stay laying down if you'd prefer. You're in the comfort of your own home. Do whatever is best for you. And then bring your palms together in like prayer hands, and just let your thumbs touch the center of your heart space. And feel very centered in your seat or the place you're laying down, very grounded here. And one more time, extend your awareness to the landscape of your heart, like an eagle. And on behalf of Sea Change Yoga and everyone involved with Sea Change, from its inception to this moment where we've gathered so many people in so many places virtually together, I honor the light, the compassion, the empowerment in each one of you that lives in me too. Bring your thumbs up to your forehead center and acknowledge what you've done for yourself and others today and always, and the wisdom that guides you. Thank you, everyone. Namaste.
Thank you, Robin.